Well, how was everybody? Were you in the cold or were you in a luxury box? Toasty warm or you were cold? You were warm, good. Well, benches were warm, so it was good, yeah. It actually was fine.
We have Don Granato here to take your question. If you have a question for Coach, please raise your hand. We'll start front left.
Don, what did you think about the cross check that Matthews put on Dahlin's neck and the response to your group after that?
Yeah, I was proud of our group. First of all, I'm glad Dahlin is okay. That's foremost. And yeah, a tough situation. Those situations you have to, the best scenario is hand it over to the league, the officials, and make sure your team stays on objective and doesn't get off. And I felt Cuzzy was competitive there at the end. There was nothing out of bounds there, and we stayed within ourselves and within how we should have. And proud of our guys for that. And like I mentioned, I'm glad Dolls is feeling okay.
Second row on the left.
Don, we've talked several times this week about what these two games were. What does it say to you about the fact that you had these two games against Vegas and Toronto hanging in the balance in the third period, and both times your team made the plays and your team grabbed the games, and how does that speak to just what you're trying to build here?
Yeah, we're really proud of what we have here from the standpoint of we know we have skill here. It's a lot of young skill and a good mix of some older, really good leaders. But we really know we have good people and competitive people. And, when you watch our group compete the way they competed the last couple games and get the reward for the work, it's nice. On the coaching side, and I can tell you that speaking, for our organization, for Kevin and all we talk about, the last couple of games have been really something we felt our players have earned, and credit to them. They put the work in.
Dan, we kind of talked about this last week, but just the magnitude of these two games and you guys coming out on top. Do you think these last few days could be a stretch that maybe potentially going forward, it's something you guys can build off of and, could be maybe a turning point down the road?
Yeah, there's no question it's a turning point in the form of confidence and results are a whole nother thing, moving forward. That's unpredictable. Craig Anderson has really stabilized things for us. That's been significant over the last few weeks to get us to this point. So, and that's key. And the older guys' leadership, obviously Akposo is a guy I mentioned there. But yeah, this is it's big because it's big moments. In front of a crowd like this in Canada, didn't even mention it, but what an amazing event. This is a spectacular event. You come to Canada, I can remember coming here as a kid and didn't want to leave because it was like, wow, the appreciation for hockey is amazing. So to be able to do it in this environment, perform well and perform under pressure, yes, it does give you confidence moving forward. Because we've had a lot of games we felt we deserved better and maybe deserve wins, and it didn't come. And you have to just keep pushing forward. So this one, these last couple of days have been a good indicator that you just keep doing it, just keep doing what you're doing, and things will turn for you.
Back left, Tim.
Don, thinking about the games this week, but also including maybe a week and a half ago, you beat Toronto and Minnesota in the same week. What kinds of things are happening with your team to sort of start capturing this right feeling?
Yeah, that's why I mentioned Craig Anderson. I think he's been a huge key for us in stabilizing things back there and his presence. And I believe, we have a lot of young guys that have really emerged over the last month and a half. Henry Yokoharu has elevated his game to, I've been with him for the 4 years he's been in the NHL. And this is beyond a new level for him. This is about 3 levels. I mean, he's been so consistent, determined, and he's a big part. Matthias Samuelsson is, Fitzgerald, who couldn't play tonight. These young guys, and Bryson on the back end, these young guys in the back end, and obviously I haven't mentioned Dolls, that goes without saying. Darlene, have really helped. So I think the combination of those young guys and Craig Anderson in there, and then it's been different guys, and tonight Vinny Hinestro is a perfect example. But I do feel that group on the back end and our effort from that end out has been a real key for us.
Front left.
Don, the third periods earlier in the season were an issue for the group. Obviously, the third period, last couple of games were a
So
lot
was
better.
the first and second, by the way.
Well.
That's good. Thanks.
Third period in particular, holding leads, or in these sort of situations, like a game like tonight, it might have gone the other way earlier in the year. Tonight, the Vegas game, what have you seen from the group, just the way they're handling those pressure sort of situations, and is it a sign of growth that they've handled it, so well these last two in particular?
Yeah, I hope it's a sign of growth. Like I said, time will tell. But it is. I think it's more of a sign of character. The guys, the will is just, it's strong. I think it's always been strong, but there's a little more conviction with the will. I mean, the belief is a little stronger, and the determination is a little higher. And like I said, things get, I would say, out of hand there at the end, and we were able to just take our emotion, hold it, and finish the game the right way. And that was, I think, another indicator of where our guys are right now.
Don, early, especially in the first period with the snow, I mean, that really built up on the ice surface, and you could see pucks were stopped sliding, and both teams were turning the puck over because of it. Was that starting to be a worry? I know it was happening for both teams, but that the snow was really kind of interrupting puck movement.
Yeah, no, it was a real challenge. And, it should be noted, when you go in, there's 82 games in an NHL season, and 81, it's pretty simple for the coaches. You know all the elements, and you know what the players are dealing with. And a game like that, the coaches, I can tell you right now, the players take over. You can think you did something as a coach, but all the different elements out there that both teams had to play under and fight through, they're going to determine the outcome, not your coaching strategy. It's just there's too many different elements that they're taking in every moment, with the wind, the sun, the cold, the ice conditions. So that was fun to watch for me to be a part of, because our team had to take over where we couldn't give them, things as a coach that you normally would be able to. There just weren't those consistencies tonight. So again, a real credit to all the players in the game for doing that, making it a hell of a game, and I love the way our guys did do that and responded.
Last question for Coach, front right.
We can see how Craig stabilizes things on the ice, but what are some of the things that maybe we don't get to see that he's done with this group?
He's got a great sense of humor. He doesn't take life too serious, but he takes his job serious, and he's balanced, extremely balanced in everything I just said. So, when there's sometimes a TV timeout and he feels our team's anxious and we all see it, he comes over and seems to say the right things to the bench, to the guys on the bench. There was a goal the other night in one of the games, and he wasn't happy with the goal, and he knew the players, and he came right to the bench and apologized to the guys. He said, "Hey, that one's on me. Let's kick it back in gear. I'll refocus myself." So he's just a very balanced person, and that comes across, and it's just what we need. He's got a real good presence for what we need.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.